Hi friends, it's Wayne and Susie here. We just wanted to give you an update. We had to wait a day. We tried to shoot this yesterday after the mediation and it did not go well. Susie was a little bit weepy yesterday, weren't you, honey?
Yeah, it did not look good.
Yeah, the mediation didn't go well. It was a problem. We got into the courthouse and we met our attorney and we went into our little room and they were in another room with their attorney, and then there was a young lady who was the mediator who kind of bounced between rooms to try to make things move along.
Well, originally our first thing, the attorneys met and we gave him our offer of what we were willing to pay for it to them, and they did go and meet, and when he came back, he said they turned it down, no for the offer. We were talking to see if we could come up with another option of what to present to them to possibly get them to change their mind and be reasonable. And it ended up that after they went and discussed some other options, the whole time they wanted the whole thing to go to auction so that I guess neither party got to keep it. They didn't want to divide it anymore, which we did make that offer again to possibly divide the property.
Well, we even offered to just continue as we are, just sharing it and being friends and working out some kind of an arrangement.
A legal agreement for making repairs on the driveway.
Yeah.
And everything was turned down, and then all of a sudden the mediator comes in and says that now, they've never wanted to keep the property. They've never offered me anything for it. Basically all they've ever wanted to do was to put it up for auction and not even to sell it to me. So she came in the room and sits down and says, there's been like a turn of events. Now they want to purchase your half. And I said, well, my half isn't for sale. The whole thing is I want to keep my half. So she went back and told them then that, the other half isn't for sale. Let's continue trying to come up with a solution.
Well, that's when we came up with all these other ideas of dividing the land and all of that.
Yes, and just nothing. Everything was a no, and it was a pretty quick no. Our attorney came back pretty quickly, and they said no. They said no.
It was chaos. It really was. It was total confusion. I think everybody was confused.
How it flip-flopped back and forth.
Yeah, they didn't have an agenda, it seemed like, and so both attorneys were confused. The mediator was confused. We are now just.
So it ended with nothing.
Nothing. We spent 2.5 hours and a bunch of attorney's fees for nothing, to go nowhere.
And
so now the next step is the partition action takes place. This is where now a judge will appoint 3 appraisers. They will appraise the property independently, and the judge will, I imagine, take the average of those appraisals and make a ruling on how this property is supposed to be settled, and more than likely will end up going to auction. We could always buy it at auction, but I got a feeling it's going to be out of our reach. So Susie and I have gotten to the point, well, Suzie especially, she's the one that needed to get there, to the point where, well, if that's the way it goes, then let's start looking for new land now, and when that day comes, we'll be ready to make a purchase. So, but it's still not right. It's still totally wrong. It's still really hard for Suzie. It's hard on all of us because, Susie's upset about it, and there's nothing I can do about it, and it's hard.
My kids are really upset because it was basically the last thing their dad gave them before he passed away, and they cherish it, and it's being taken from them as well as me.
That's right. Yeah. Listen,
we have memories. And even just the fact that he wanted this for his kids to have as they grew up and got older, and it's being taken away from them by their aunt and uncle.
Exactly.
And
And
it's not just
and
a nobody, it's their aunt and uncle.
for those of you watching this who are confused totally by what's going on here, I did record Susie's story in part 3 of the dead ash removal video that I posted a while back. So if you look up part 3, I'll put a link in the description here, and I'll also try to maybe put a something at the end of this video to help you get there. But if none of that works, just remember the dead ash tree removal part 3, Susie's story. And that'll give you the background to the property in sort of a nutshell. So that's where we're at. We're okay for now, but it's like I said, it's not a good thing. We really like the property. We've put a lot of time into that. You know, we put a lot of time and money and effort into it, and to have it just be taken out from under our feet is just doesn't seem right.
It's just, you know, like I call it my heaven on earth. It's the perfect place for me to be, you know, for any situation, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when
Sure.
you know,
That's
where
where
I
Susie
go
goes.
to,
She goes there to break all of our equipment. She breaks our lawnmowers out there. She breaks our weed eaters out there.
Oh,
You haven't broken a chainsaw out there yet.
not yet, but I got one now. Hopefully it can handle me.
We've had four-wheelers break down out there, all kinds of good things that Susie's gotten her hands on, but
I haven't broke the four-wheeler down.
I guess not yet. Well, look, so we're going to wrap this up here. I don't want this to get too long, but we just wanted to give all of you there were so many of you that questioned how things went. You wanted to be updated, so here's the update. I guess right now we're going to be patient. There is a good book, and I tap into it every now and then when I'm really needing some advice. And I think the thing that came out of the book for us was that we shouldn't be anxious for anything, but in all things we should be prayerful and have a lot of thanksgiving. And we are very thankful, by the way, to have a community of people like you guys out there who care. You know, some of you that just kind of stumble across this channel or across this video might not care at all. That's fine. You don't have to care. But for those of you that do, that's who we're talking about. We're very thankful for you folks. And also, in that same paragraph, it says that when we are thankful like that, and when we are prayerful like that, the peace of God will pass every bit of understanding that we have about everything that we think we know. So,
wow. And right now, it is hurtful. I don't know if that's their intention, to be hurtful to myself and the boys, but it kind of ends up, the joke will be on them. No matter how this ends up, I will still have joy inside my heart and in my life.
Because we're together.
Because we're together. Because of the people I do have in my life that hold me up and support me and, help keep that joy inside of me.
Yeah.
My kids, my brothers and sisters, and, they're my nieces and nephews, and my mom, and I have a lot of people that are good, and our friends, our close friends that live in our community, live around us, that we get to see. They are such support that, like I said, the joke will be on them. If this is to hurt me, it is hurting me now, but you can't take joy from someone who refuses to give it up.
And that's the story. So, okay, guys, we're going to let you go. We're going to go. We love you all. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time around, okay? All right, bye.